What are we doing? Why are we going there? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why did we have to do that? What was the point? What was the point of Cuties? Just so many questions. Hello everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Beth, or Queen of Spade, and I felt the need to do this video, I guess, as someone who grew up doing dance, because, y'all, we got this video named Cuties out here, and I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but there's been some people that have kind of come out and said that, you know, this is okay because of the dancing. So I thought that I would kind of come on here. I finally watched the movie. It was hard to watch. Even as a woman, it was hard to watch. As someone that has grown up a woman who grew up conservative and who did dance school, and I'm going to tell you a story in a minute, it was still hard to watch, and that's kind of why I wanted to come on here. So a little bit background about me is I grew up doing dance classes, I grew up doing theater classes, and I did dance for about 10 years of my kid life. So I mean, like, up until I was almost an adult, I was doing dance. So I've done hip-hop, I've done jazz, I've done ballet, I've done jazz ballet, I've done everything in between, and I still watched this movie and went, ooh, girl, what are we doing? Why are we going there? Whoa, 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 why did we have to do that? That was my reaction while I was watching this movie. I tried to go in, and I tried to go in with the thought of maybe this movie is to spread awareness. You know, the whole twerking, sexy dancing thing. Here's the thing. If you know me, you'll know that even though I'm pretty liberal, I have a little bit of an issue out here as a mom of a girl with some of the role models in this world. You know, people like Cardi B, I just don't see a use for in our society. You know, I'm over here, there's people out here like Snow the Product. That girl should be put up over Cardi B. Okay, who would you rather look up to as a woman, though? And anyway, I'm going to get on a whole rant about that now, which we just don't want. But yeah, so to me, there's just some things about our society right now that really sexualizes young kids that I have an issue with. A lot of the adults out here are acting a little too sexy as role models. There's a difference between being an empowered woman with your sexuality and being a skank. I'll just say it. And so I was like, oh, maybe this movie, at the very beginning, when all this stuff happened, I was like, I think this movie might just be trying to spread awareness. You know, let's hold on. Don't go all cancel culture yet, guys. Just wait. We gotta watch it first, okay? At least see it first. And I waited a while. Some other people, you know, came out and did reactions to it, and I was like, okay, that's what they think. Cool. Luckily, I have critical thinking skills, so I can watch other people and get their opinions, but then still go off and, like, have my very own. So I was like, all right, so I get what they're saying. I'm still going to try and have an open mind. But then I found out how they got the casting for it, and ew. Ew. So then I had a little bit of a problem, but I was still like, okay, I'm still going to go into this open-minded, not wanting to cancel Cuties, just to kind of see what it is. Now, for those of you who also might not know me that well, you should know that one of my most favorite videos of all time is actually 13. Another video that I absolutely adore is the movie Kids. And if you know these movies, you'll know that they are about teenagers or preteens that are put into very adult situations and having to handle them. Things like drug addiction, sex, things like that. I don't know why I do that. It's not like I'm monetized anyway. Like, what am I doing out here? So basically, I just wanted to watch it. I wanted to get a good feel of what it was. I wanted to kind of be like, maybe it's to spread awareness. Kind of like Kids in 13 did. I'm thinking it's like that, right? So I'm like, I'm going to give it a chance. I'll give it a chance. We'll see how this goes. No. Now listen. If they didn't have the close-up scenes, maybe. I had a couple issues with it. So first, I'm just going to let you know that when I was 13 years old myself, I was actually doing jazz ballet. And one of the dances that we did is the Rocky Horror Picture Show Time Warp dance. And my mom was like really conservative. My parents were very conservative at the time. I grew up like very Christian. So they were kind of like, she's too young for this. She's too young for this. Now, issue is, I'm a pretty girl, and I was a good dancer, so not only was I going to be in it, I was going to be the main girl in it, right? I got to play, anyway. So they were just not happy. They were not happy with it. They were like, we can't have her playing this little go-go dancer thing that comes out and does a tap dance, and no, we just, no. So I actually had my parents make it so that I didn't do the parts, and I ended up only being one of the regular dancers because my parents did not agree with the dance. They didn't agree with the fact that I was 13. They didn't agree with the fact that at this time, I think I'd like just found out what the Rocky Horror Picture Show was. So like wasn't even totally familiar with it at that age, like just found out what it was. Yeah. So basically, I didn't get to do the part because my parents were like, I don't agree with this. I'm too conservative for this. I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to this dance instructor and you're not going to be doing this. And it was like, okay, that sucks. I was obviously very upset about it at the time. But looking back, the teacher that we had ended up doing like this really sexual dance. Really like way too sexual. Should have never done it. To Santa Baby, because it was like our Christmas concert. And when my parents saw that, along with, knowing that I was supposed to be the go-go girl in the Time Warp thing at 13, they pulled me out of that dance school and put me in another one. They were like, nah, don't agree with this. It was a good decision. I even say that now, that it was a good decision. Hers ended up failing, not that long after, from what I've heard. So there was that. But also, it was good for them to kind of like stick to their guns on that. They had not wanted to sexualize me, even as a dancer. Even at 13, I had been sexualized enough in my life at that time, and they were trying to protect me. And I, now as an adult, look back and I think, you know what? If my daughter was going to do some dance that I didn't agree with, that I thought was way too sexy for her, I would not let her do it. Just like my parents didn't let me do that one. Maybe I'm a little biased. I don't know if that makes me biased here. But I just had that kind of in the back of my mind the whole time I was watching this movie. And like, my parents would have never let me be in this movie, especially at like 13, 11, 10, 9, however old these girls were, or supposed to be portrayed as. And it just, the whole thing. It's a story about a girl that grows up Muslim. Now, for those of you that also don't know, I live in a Muslim community. So I'm kind of familiar with Muslims. Is it just me? Because, like, I don't want to be like this white bitch out here saying it. So if somebody out there who's Muslim could let me know, I found it a little racist or cultural. I felt like they were digging at Muslims the whole time in the movie. I felt like it was really disrespectful to Muslims. And it could have been done in a lot better taste. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe there's people out there that are like Muslim and they're like, no, actually, I loved it. I thought it was great. I got a bad feeling with that. I was like, I don't feel like they're doing justice to this religion with this. And it was cringy to watch for me. And maybe that's just me though. Like I said, let me know, am I just being an SJW bitch? Because that can happen once in a blue moon, apparently. So I'm just like, is this okay? Did you guys, were you please? Just, yeah, let me know, because I can't be the only one thinking that. And I kind of stopped looking at what everyone was saying about it because I wanted to do this video first before I went and looked. But I was like, something tells me that the people that are Muslim are not going to be very happy with this at all. And I'm really not going to blame them. I'm going to be like, yeah, it was shit, man. That's kind of what I was thinking the whole time. I was just kind of sitting there like, that's not good either. They're not doing that very good. Anyway, so she is growing up Muslim, and this girl basically wants to come into her sexuality via the dance crew that she finds this new group of friends. And I think as girls, we can, as girls, girl, I think as women, we can look back and we can think of that feeling. The feeling of wanting to belong, the feeling of wanting to grow up and hang out with like the cool girls. That was kind of also the theme in Kids and 13 too. Like, oh, I want to go hang out with the cool people, and the cool people are the ones that do all the bad stuff. And why is that anyway? Why? Anyway, so that was kind of the same theme here. And then she kind of goes into this dance troupe. There's a lot of weird things that happen in the movie. Like, there's a time when a girl is going to strip for her cousin. And you're like, no, that's not something that happens. Why is this in here? Anyway, it's just, they put a lot on sexualizing the kids. Like, there's extra parts of them sexualizing the kids that I feel like didn't need to be in there. It was like, you're doing it enough with the twerking and the dancing. You don't need this stuff. Although, albeit true, as a woman who grew up being sexually assaulted as a child, yes, that stuff does happen. I feel like they tried to make it look normal. And it's not that normal. Does that make sense? Am I making sense with that? Like, I feel like it happened so much, and it was like weird situations, and it was just not really a normal sort of thing. I like they're putting it in there on purpose, okay? And I'm like, a little bit too much, So that was kind of cringy. Other than that, the movie was fucking boring. It's a boring ass movie, man. It was no Save the Last Dance or anything like that, okay? I was like, storyline, dancing. So she meets these girls. They're in this dance crew. Like, I can't give you, like, the whole story of it right away because I feel like I also have to react and talk about it as we go. So as they're, like, dancing, doing this dance crew stuff, you know, she's kind of coming into her own sexuality. Her parents are against it because, of course, they're conservative, they're Muslims, and you get to kind of, like, see them against it. Then you get to the end, and you think there's going to be a lesson, or the parents would put their foot down and be, like, yanking her out of this dance troupe, or they would, like, maybe come around, but have some rules with it. Like, I was like, what if they were like, yeah, sure, she could dance, she just has to cover up a little bit more, or something, like, to kind of incorporate their religion and their modesty into the dance. That's what I was kind of hoping would happen at the end. I was like, that would be kind of cool. You know, as I was trying to block out all the fucking close-ups that were unnecessary, that we didn't need to have at all. And even as, like, another girl, it was like, ooh, too much. Too much. You know, it just... Anyway, you get to the end of the movie, and they're just kind of like, yeah, you can dance. Cool. And then it's over. And I'm like, so what was the point in the movie? Like, I feel like I just watched a whole movie of a bunch of girls being sexualized, and then the end. There was no, like, moral to it. Like, don't be in sexy dance crews, because it might lead to something. Like, I feel like in Kids, if you haven't seen that movie, it is basically about a bunch of preteen kids that are not safe with sex. And the end of that movie is they all end up with AIDS because they're unsafe. So there was like a, see, don't do this because this is how it ends. And with 13 even, Tracy in that, she gets into drugs, tries to grow up too fast to be with Evie the cool girl. And at the end, she has fucked herself up. Like, now she's all out on drugs. Her mental health is bad. It's, like, even worse than it was because she was kind of already struggling. And so it was kind of like a story of, see, don't go off and do a bunch of drugs and just try to ignore that you have some problems at home because you're going to end up fucked up. With this one, it was like the message was almost, if you live in a conservative Muslim home and you join a twerking dance crew, maybe your family will come around to you being sexualized. Like, honestly, that was kind of like the message of this movie. It was very bizarre. Sat there for a minute, kind of like, oh, that's it? Okay. Well, that might be the main problem with the movie. Because here's the thing. Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like a lot of us could have maybe forgiven some of those close-up-y kind of things if there was some kind of message at the end. Like, I can understand the shock value thing. I'm very good at it. I can understand, like, you know, I can understand the shock value. I can understand the putting it in your face. I could maybe be like, okay, maybe that's what they were doing if at the end of this movie there was some kind of moral or lesson or reason to go through all that other than it just being okay. Like, the sexualization of these girls just is okay. That was my main problem with it. Like, then it made the rest of it worse. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, it was like, oh, wait, we weren't even going to go anywhere near a lesson with this? Ooh, why was this movie made? What was the point? What was the point of Cuties? That's what I need to know. What was the point of Cuties, guys? What's the point? To show us all that we get sexualized as kids, and now in the world we're just all supposed to be cool with it? I don't think that's good. As a mom, and as someone that's done dance, like, even that dancing, listen, even my time warp dance wasn't that sexy. Okay, so you need to bring that down a notch. And I honestly do think that at this point, like, it's almost like it's kind of on the parents to pay attention to what their kids are doing. Like, my daughter, she's 6. She's not watching Beyonce stuff. She's not listening to Cardi B. My daughter doesn't even hear my songs. So, like, you have to monitor that kind of thing. And I want to know what the parents of these girls were thinking. Letting them be in the movie. Did they read the script? Were they aware that the ending was just going to be that? Just so many questions, so many questions. I ended up having more questions when I was done watching the movie than when I began the movie. And there's a lot of controversy continuing with this. Yeah, if you want me to, like, do an update or do a video more on that, then let me know. I just kind of wanted to come on here because, like I said, I've done dance. I had a situation where my parents pulled me out of a dance because it was too sexy. And so, I don't know, I thought I would come to my channel where I share my opinions on things and just put it out into the world that Cuties is gross. Cuties is a gross movie that should have never been made, put out into the world, and definitely not shown to anyone, especially that one dude that did the reaction to it that really liked it. He definitely should have never seen that movie. Why? Why? Why did you do this to us? Why did you make this movie and put it out if the point wasn't to shock us into not wanting to sexualize children? Just so many questions. And if anyone has the answer, please do let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to end this video there because I feel really gross even talking about it. I really do. And watching it was just like, it was very cringe. Anyway, it's not a movie I'd even show to my kid. Even if she was like 13 right now, I probably wouldn't show it to her. So, again, I don't even know who the demographic was. I'm trying to think, and I mean, I think we found that one dude that likes it. But other than that, which is kind of creepy, just saying. So guys, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what you think the point of this movie was, if there was one, because besides just being a P, you know, like another point, like could there be another point to it? Help me find the other point, the other one. And no matter where you are, what you're doing, I hope that you all have a fabulous, fabulous day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! What are we doing? Bye. Why are we going there? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why did we have to do that? Just so many questions. What was the point of Cuties?